What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we're going to talk about how I spent my $12 a day here in amazing KL, and most importantly how you can do exactly the same once you arrive here. We'll talk about food, transportation and accommodation and everything in between to make sure you maximize and stretch your dollar as much as possible when you come here in KL. Enjoy your time. So we have a lot of things to cover. Make sure to stick around till the end of the video. This is definitely stuff which you have to know and it's a must know before you come here. So let's dive right in. So guys, let's start accommodation first, because accommodation is the #1 expense which you will have, and of course it's very also dependent how all the other aspects or the other expenses you will face in KL will influence. So the most important thing is not the building which you're staying. Like a lot of people ask me, hey Uri, which building are you staying? I'll stay exactly the same one, you know. But to be honest, building is very preferential, you know, like everybody or all of us first of all are coming with different amounts of people, you know. So if you travel alone, you need certainly a different type of apartment than if you're traveling with your wife, your partner, or even with kids, you know. So it's very dependent. But the most important factor on or where to stay in KL, I would say, are the points of interest. Because if the points of interest are very close to you or very near to you, then it's not very important in which building you're actually staying, right? But it's about how long the distance is between you and all the things which you like to see once you come here to KL. So let's talk about the points of interest in KL. So let's take a look at the map. So if you look at this map, the most important things or the things to see here in KL are of course KLCC, you know, the park. You have Syria, yeah, the main shopping center in KLCC. Another point of interest is TRX. That's a very nice exclusive shopping center here in KL. Another thing is of course the KL Tower, a very famous radio tower, which is very nice to see. And we also have of course Chinatown. Chinatown is another very interesting part of the town which to see and which we can also discuss. And there is of course also like small or little India. There are other things like the Eco Park. Another thing is Chowkit, which is the party street. Then of course we also have Pavilion, you know, with the famous crossing, Malaysia crossing, which is very similar to the Tokyo crossing. So these are the main points of interest. So if your location is very close to there, this means you'll don't need a lot of times to take a Grab or a taxi or any public transport. So this will definitely cut your budget to the minimum. So this means guys, we have to find our apartment in the middle of the points of interest. You know, if we do this, that way we have all the points of interest very close to each other, and that way we don't have so much expenses regarding the MRTs, the cabs and everything. So we minimize our transportation costs. And of course, yeah, we'll never find an apartment which is perfectly in the middle, but it's not about that. It's just about having our things or the points of interest very close. And of course, another important thing to keep in mind is to be close to the MRT stations, guys. It's very important because when the MRT station is very far, you're more likely to go towards Grabs. And Grabs, of course, are more expensive. And if they are more expensive, it will cut into our budgets. Yeah. So make sure that you're around maximally 10 minutes away from MRT station in order that you actually use it while you're here. And guys, for anybody who is interested in living this type of lifestyle, either in KL or anywhere else in Southeast Asia or anywhere else in the world, and is interested in generating money from their phones, making money online, make sure to hit me up on Instagram. Send me a DM, send me a private message. I'm helping people start making their online career and making money online so they can fulfill their dreams. So if this is something for you, make sure to write me a message. So guys, as you can see, we've ended up in the Bukit Bintang area. This is definitely the place, the most lively place here in KL, and definitely recommended for all the tourists to stay here because you have the full-on experience of KL and all the craziness which happens around town. You have Chinatown there, you have Pavilion there, very close to KLCC, and like all the points of interest as we saw on the map are very, very close. So definitely recommended, and everything is really walking distance. To be honest, definitely I like Bukit Bintang area myself personally the most because yeah, I am in the end a tourist as well, just like you guys. We are in it together, you know. So, and everything which is happening there, it makes you come alive, feel alive, and you have like really the full-on KL experience. And if you have to really ask me like which building to give you some kind of idea I would recommend to stay, then I would definitely recommend Ceylon's as one option, and Robertson would be a second option, and the third one, let's say maybe Vipot. What about Vipot? That's also a very interesting place to stay. I will show it here on the map so you can have an idea where these buildings are located, but it's really up to your preference, and you don't have to be exactly in the middle, as I said, you know, you just have to be close, you know, so everything is more or less walking distance or just a few stops with the metro away, or really just a couple of minutes with the Grab. So guys, now we know where to stay, right? Let's continue with the transportation, because the transportation is also something which can cut into your budget. But like I said, the Grabs are budget friendly, but still, we are trying to stick to a tight budget when we are here, right? Like, why spend more if you don't have to, right? Okay, so let's talk about the transportation. So the MRT system in KL is very well developed. Let's start off with that. The MRTs are always on the ground. Sometimes they go, or they do go above the ground, but more or less they're on the ground. The speed to get from one station to another, I would say, is maybe like 2-3 minutes. So it's really, really fast. And the MRTs are coming with an interval of around, I would say, 5 to 10 minutes. So just in case you miss one, don't worry. In a couple of minutes, there will be another one to get you to the right spot. Let's talk about the cost. So the cost of the MRT to go, let's say, from KLCC, which is down below the Avenue K shopping mall, and you would go directly to, let's say, Bukit Bintang, which is the pavilion area, you know, where also the crossing is, that will set you back only about 2 to 3 ringgits. So it's really super, super affordable. The answer to the question where to get your tickets, it's super easy. In the metro, when you go down, there are machines standing there. You can just pay with your regular card, or if you have already the Grab app downloaded, you can pay it also with Grab. So it's really super easy. You get like a small coin, and you'll use this coin to get in of the metro. You just put it on the machine, which opens the gate for you. And when you leave the metro, you put it into a slot, and again the gate opens, and you get rid of this coin. So yeah, the whole system works very easy, and yeah, you'll get it the first time you try. So don't worry about it. Even me, I haven't used public transport for ages. Like, if I would go back home and use public transport, I would have no idea how it works, to be honest. And I got this right the first time. So don't worry about it. Try to use it. It's definitely a good option. Let's compare that with the Grab option. So let's say we are convenient, we want to go with a Grab, and how much would that cost us? So let's say, again, the same route, we will go from KLCC directly to the Pavilion shopping mall. The same route would cost you with a Grab around 10 to 15 ringgits on a normal, I would say, normal hour. But during rush hour or the time that it's raining, it could easily double that. So really, if you compare that with the MRT, which costs you 3 ringgits, and let's say with the extreme you would pay 30 ringgits, that's like 10 times more, you know. And it's really, I would say, ridiculous to go with the Grab if you have the option to go with the metro. Of course, there are certain times that you just want to get into a Grab and get out of here, you know what I mean? Like, I know these times, but in general, definitely use the metro. The metro is a great alternative to travel here. So guys, let's start off with my budget, because that's actually the reason why you're watching this video, right? So let's start off with my breakfast. In the breakfast, in the morning, I always eat bread. I'm a bread type of person, so it's always bread for me. And I generally put there some jam on it, you know? So let's say maybe 1 ringgit for the bread, let's do that. And for the jam, let's do maybe also 1 ringgit. So 2 ringgits for the breakfast. With that breakfast, I also always drink some coffee, because I love my coffee. Unfortunately, I do not have a coffee machine yet, so I do need to, unfortunately, drink only this 3-in-1 packages. I don't know if you know them, like from Nescafe. I'm sure you've got them on your holidays for free a lot of times. So yeah, these packages is my first coffee in the morning. Sometimes I'll take like 2 of them, you know, depending on what kind of morning it is. But yeah, this is the routine directly in the morning. So maybe let's put there 1 ringgit for the coffee, 1 ringgit for the loaf, and 1 ringgit for the jam, because the coffee cost me around like 17 ringgits for a pack of 25. So if you'd like, we can maybe also just use 2 ringgits for the coffee and 2 ringgits for the breakfast, so like 4 ringgits in total. Once I'm finished with my breakfast, I generally go out, you know, I'm going for a walk like this, or like, you know, wherever. I'll go to a supermarket, and in the supermarket I buy a bottle of water, you know, 1.5 liters, like the big ones, because, you know, it's hot here. I do need to get, you know, hydrated. So this bottle of water costs me around 1 ringgit, yeah, like literally 1 ringgit. Yeah, it's crazy, right? So I buy that bottle. It generally lasts me through the whole day. depending on the day, sometimes on the way back I buy another bottle of water, you know, just another 1.5 liter bottle of water to have with me. So let's say maybe for the 2 bottles of water for the whole day is around 2 ringgits. Then of course I always need to get a cup of coffee during the day, because I do love my coffee, and as I said, I don't have a coffee machine at home. So yeah, the Nescafes do their thing, but it's not ideal, you know. So I definitely visit some of these coffee shops, and a iced coffee latte, which I generally use. Sometimes it's called like Spanish latte, sometimes velvet latte, like depends on the brands, you know, how they name them. They always give them some exciting names, but in the end, you know, it's just coffee with a little bit of milk and ice, you know. And these coffees, or this coffee, because I get one, sets me back around 10 ringgits. In some coffee shops they cost around 7.5 ringgits, some coffee shops 12.5, so this 10 ringgits is a really reasonable amount to take into consideration. Then we get to the lunch. During lunch I always eat hot, you know, I love my lunches hot, so I generally go to a food court, and in this food court the prices of this food range from between 15 to 20 ringgits. Yeah, that's a decent, reasonable meal, reasonable price for a food court. You can get, I would say, almost anything for this type of budget. The only exception is of course Western food. Western food is generally a lot more expensive here, like a hamburger or fries and this kind of things, and everything which involves like noodles, rice, and just, you know, the Asian style of cuisine like dumplings and all these things. The budget of 15 to 20 ringgits is absolutely reasonable. Like generally I try to stick to this 15 amount, but you know, sometimes you get crazy, get maybe something for 25. So yeah, let's count, let's say the lunch, or you know, the during the day hot dinner for around, let's say, 20 ringgits. And guys, one more pro tip, and that's Loyat Plaza. In Loyat Plaza the food court is extremely nice. It's very good food there, and for very good prices. So if you have time, Loyat is generally well known for its electronics, so you get all your cables, your monitors, your hardware, anything which has to do with electronics there. But the food there is absolutely really amazing, and also for a very good price. So if you have time, it's a hidden secret gem there. Check it out. The food there definitely worth your while. And one more, guys, but I'm not sure if I actually should tell you, but please keep it a secret. There is a food court in the cold storage in Sungai Wang Plaza, and there the prices, I don't even want to tell you. It's, you eat there, guys, a full plate of food. There are Swedish buffets there, really, dumplings, your noodles, chicken, like everything, and it costs, guys, is between 10 and 15 ringgits, really, and it's like a lot, and you can get anything you want, and that's, I think, really a place. It's hard to put it in words, guys. The cost to eat there, I feel like I'm robbing these people. It's that cheap, guys. But the taste, that's the most important thing, because it can be cheap, but you know, quality does matter. Definitely, like for me, hopefully for you the same. The quality of the food is really amazing, guys. So it's great food. It costs like 10 ringgits a full plate, and man, once you find that out, it's hard to go somewhere else, guys. It's really, the prices are extremely insane. So yeah, definitely number one hidden gem is cold storage in Sungai Wang Plaza, guys. But don't tell it to anybody, okay? Else it get too busy, you know. So just keep it to yourself, okay? Then later on, I generally, like I said, buy this second bottle of water, or I get a drink from Mishue, you know, or I don't know if I pronounce it correctly. Maybe my Malaysian fans or subscribers could tell me how to pronounce it, but it's written, or it's written like Mixue. So I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce it, even though I go there regularly. Actually, I should ask, right? Like, I don't know why I don't do that, but yeah, doesn't matter. This drink generally costs around 6 to 7 ringgits, you know. So it's a nice bubble tea or just some refreshing drink, like with ice and everything. Sometimes with milk, or it's just tea. It really depends on your preference. The price is the same. It really depends on like what you order, what you like, but it's really great, amazing, super fast, super convenient, and there are really like hundreds of these stores here. So you definitely, anytime you're here, you definitely will find your mixue or mixue near you, and make sure to check it out because I really love it. Another thing I like to buy are fresh juices from Chinatown, guys. It's a stand which has all the best juices in the world, guys. Like, take a look at it. I generally buy there 2 drinks. These are my favorites. I mean, everybody can choose whatever they like, of course, you know. It's only my preference. But I like the apple lime one, that is like totally refreshing, like super amazing. And also the passion fruit pineapple, or pineapple passion fruit. That one is also super refreshing. But like I said, any one of those drinks are super amazing, so make sure to check them out. They only cost 6 ringgits. Only one which is 7 is like the avocado one. I haven't tasted that one because like I'm so in love with the ones which I'm buying, so it's hard to buy something else if I know that I want to have that one. I don't know if you know that feeling. So I always buy one of these 2. But they are super refreshing and super amazing, guys. So really, for this price, in addition, of course, you also experience the Chinatown vibe when you're there. You know, you get your bags there and everything. Maybe we can do a separate video about that. But this drink is worth the walking or taking the metro to this place, because yeah, I love it, guys. And then for the dinner, guys, so that's like the day for me. Sometimes, yeah, you know, you get a snack or something, but it's not something which I do on a regular basis. So let's just count for my regular day, and let's see how much budget we will still have open for all these other things, you know, which we then can buy potentially during the day, or, you know, save them up for another day. So for dinner, I generally eat at home. Like, the day is quite long. We've done a lot of things with the family, so we'll go back home, and at home I generally eat some kind of ramen dish. So a ramen sets you back around like 1 ringgit. If you buy some fish balls and some vegetables in it, you can count it, let's say, for 2 ringgits. So generally, like for 3-4 ringgits, you have your dinner ready. That's it. So there you have it, guys. Like, seriously, and I still have room left in my budget, as you can see. So yeah, I'll maybe take a metro or 2, you know, just to get somewhere, or grab a snack, you know, like for 5, 6, 7 ringgits. Like, it's all doable, really. This $12 budget is absolutely realistic here. And if you're here with 2 people, you can just double this budget, you know, so you don't spend $12, you spend 24. If you're with 4 people, you put it times 4, you know, so you spend $48 a day. So yeah, being here in KL and just enjoying your time, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. That's all I'm saying, you know. Of course, you can go wild here, you know. If you eat 3 times a day warm, yeah, you spend a little more than $12. But in the end, like, do you really go out to eat in your home country also 3 times a day, you know? So if you just compare realistic costs which you spend back at home and which you spend here, it is absolutely doable here for $12. That's all I'm saying. And it's absolutely crazy, guys. So guys, to summarize, KL is an amazing city, and of course it always depends on your preference, where you spend your money, how you spend your money, you know, like, none of us are the same. But here is an idea how your budget could look like. Could be similar to mine or just completely different, you know, like, it's not wrong or it's better or it's worse. I'm just saying KL is a city which offers you a lot of opportunities, a lot of possibilities to not spend a lot of money. But hey, we can go crazy sometimes, you know, and it's only natural. We are here for a holiday, we are here to enjoy our lives, so yeah, you know, you can go crazy. But if you don't want to go crazy, it is absolutely possible. Like, you've seen it, the figures, I'm living it, you know, and like I said, it's not that I'm every day spending $12, of course not, you know, but most of the days, yeah, you know, I don't need to spend a lot of money to enjoy myself, you know, because in the end, to enjoy yourself, it's not always about the money, you know. And of course, if you eat like 3 meals hot a day, then yeah, you'll double or triple spend this amount of money. If you don't eat, you don't spend nothing, you know. So it always depends on how much you spend, what you like, and how you enjoy yourself. So like, yeah, you know, budgets can vary. But this is definitely a budget which I wanted to put out there to show you that, yeah, this is the budget which I'm using, which I'm currently living on. And yeah, I sometimes, you know, blow my budget, but yeah, I blowing my budget from $12 to 15 or $12 to $20, you know. So it's completely not a crazy budget to blow, you know. If you blow a $12 budget, it's nothing. It will be worse if I would have a 100 daily budget and I would blow it, you know, by another 100. That's definitely something which will be far worse. But yeah, as you can see, you know, life is nice, life is great. The sun is shining, you know, as you can see. The surroundings are amazing. So yeah, anywhere you are in the world, guys, make sure to enjoy yourself. I wish you an amazing day and thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this video. If you like content like this, make sure to like this video. It really helps me a lot out with the algorithms. Of course, if you like, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I really hope to see you in the next one.